What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. My name is Nicole and I'm a recovering addict, and my sobriety date is July 13th of 2015. And today we're going to talk about how to stay sober when your family triggers you. And the person who wanted to talk about this tonight was our girl Sky, aka Jane, but she goes by Sky Lover here on YouTube. And she had messaged me and said, let's talk about how to stay sober when your family triggers you. So I thought, you know what? I can tell y'all, I have been triggered by my family before. In fact, when I first got sober, my sister hadn't gotten sober yet. And so y'all know me and my sister, we were thick as thieves. We ran together. Hey, Erin. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Mama. So it was really hard for me to not hang around with my sister, you know? My mother destroyed my garden. I'm building a huge resentment. Oh no, what happened? What did she do, girl? Hey, Rosie. It's okay, Mama. Hey, what's up, Jay? Hey, Sam. Hey, that's good, Mama. You need to be out with your family. That's fine. I totally understand. I did the same thing last night, you guys. I had to take the day off. It's like sometimes, you guys, sometimes you need to unplug from social media, and that's okay. You know, we all have days where we just need to not be on the internet. Even I have those days. And now that my job and what I do is more, now that I spend so much time on the internet, like when I have time to spend with my family and stuff, I'm like, okay, I've got to just get off the phone. I've got to get off my YouTube channel for one day and just be in the moment, be present. You know, it's really easy to not be present because of social media and everything. Oh my God, Erin, that sucks. I love basil. Hey, Daniel, what's up? I love me some basil. Oh, and some spaghetti or on a pizza. What's up, everybody? Come on in, have a seat. So we're going to be getting back on our schedule this week, y'all. I was slacking last week. You know, my grandma passed away, and I just was slacking. I can't make any excuses. I'm not even going to lie about it. I was sad, but I still slacked off a lot. Hey, Barb, what's up? Hey, I could have done better, you know? Let me get this. Don't lie about it. Can y'all hear that? Oh, crap. Oh, that's awesome. Sorry. It's like I need somebody who knows how to work a laptop to come and make my laptop work better. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about triggers. We're talking about family members triggering us. Hey, Dana. Okay, so let me tell you guys about my story first, because then you'll understand that I know all about being triggered by family. Okay, so whenever before I got sober, when I was in my active addiction, me and my sister Michelle used to shoot methamphetamine together. We used to go to the club together. We used to drink on the way there while I was driving. We had a joke between the two of us that I drive better when I was drunk, because I did. I swear to God I did, y'all. Because I'm a horrible driver when I'm sober. So I guess being drunk just made it easier. You made it. Airman Espinoza. I saw you. You're on Facebook, right? AMNE on Facebook. Hey, Blondie. What's up, girl? So when I was in my active addiction, me and my sister ran together. We would get high together. And my husband and I were in active addiction together. Okay, you guys? So, and everybody who's been sharing my videos on Facebook, I want y'all to know, Lisa, Mr. Espinoza. Who else did it? Lisa. Some of you guys, I can't, but those two I remember because I just saw. Thank you so much for sharing my videos, you guys. It helps my channel so much. It really, really does help get my name out there, because I can share this stuff all day long, but I'm just one person. Rosie, there you go. So when you guys, I knew I saw 3 people that did it today. So whenever you guys do that, like it means more to me than you guys will ever know. Okay, Santos. Okay, I got you. I'll remember that. I'm good with names. It really helps me a lot. So I see you, and I appreciate that, man. You know, I really, really do. I just really appreciate it, you guys. So let me get focused, because one of the things that one of my friends has told me, y'all, tell me if you think this is true. Somebody told me that it's hard to watch my live streams because I interact with the chat so much that I'll be like talking about something, and then I'll look at the chat and read it, and then I'll go on to another subject. So do you think it's hard to follow me on here, you guys? If it is, I'm going to try and stay more focused and not read the chat as much. But I read the chat because I want to interact with you guys, you know, and I want it to be like we're having a meeting. Hey, Splinter. I love Splinter, man. That is my best friend. He is such a good person. I love him so much. Okay, Dana says she doesn't think so. Good. Okay, well, if y'all have trouble following me, I'm sorry. Live chats are supposed to be interactive. You're good. Okay, that's what I'm saying, man. That's why we're on here live. If you catch it on the replay, you got to turn the chat on, and you'll see me replying to everybody. I am the queen of live streaming on YouTube. I don't care what anybody else has to say. I am the queen of live streaming. Okay, Nicole, get back to the topic. Okay, triggers. Family triggering you. Family triggering you. Okay, so me and my sister used to use drugs together, you guys. Me and my husband used drugs together. So when we got sober, y'all, not only did I have my sister who reminded me of using, I also had my husband, you know, and so me and my husband got sober at the same time. So while we were living together, you know, we lived together, and we were trying so hard to do the right thing. And I'm telling you guys this, one of the hardest things for me to do was to kind of like let my husband do his own thing. And I had to get busy focusing on my recovery, because what I had become accustomed to doing, I had become accustomed to like relying on him for everything. I was super codependent on him. And so I didn't know how to do anything on my own. I wouldn't go to the store on my own. I wouldn't go like I couldn't do anything without my husband, okay? Because that's how we were in our addictions. We ran together nonstop. And so once we got sober, it was a whole new world. And it was not something that was easy to make changes in. I believe that change is difficult for everyone, because once you practice doing the same thing for so many years, it's a working part of your mind. It's a habit, okay? So all of us, we were in our addictions for multiple years, okay? We practiced getting high and drunk for multiple years at a time, all right? Sarah says, today was a stressful day. My cat gave birth to 3 dead kittens. Oh, Sarah, I am so sorry, girl. That sucks. Hey, AD, how you doing? I see all y'all in here. Thanks for being here. I'll pray for your cat, girl. I'm so sorry. Family drama is the worst. Family drama is the worst. So let's talk about it. It's going to be all right. So getting and staying sober is up to me, okay? And that's what I had to learn. I had to learn that my family is still going to be the way they've always been, all right? And sometimes this is hard to hear, so y'all just listen. My family is not going to change because I got sober, All right. My sister doesn't have to get sober because I got sober. My husband didn't have to get sober because I got sober. I mean, he did if he wanted to have me still, but you get the deal. You get the deal. They're not going to change because I'm changing my life. And most of my family didn't change, you know. My sister, it took her a whole year after I got sober for her to get sober. So I had to like break ties off with my sister. I had to stop hanging out with her, you guys, because every time I would go around her, she was high on meth. And so every time we would have her over for like a Christmas or Thanksgiving that year, she was on Xanax or something, you know, just out of her mind high. And so I had to totally separate myself from my sister. And now with my husband, we were living together, and you guys know my story. For those of y'all that are new, my husband and I got sober at the same time in 2015. We got sober because our son was taken from us by Child Protective Services. So we were, you know, I don't like to say we were forced to get sober, but we were forced to get sober or we weren't going to get our kid back, right? And so that kind of kick-started our journey into recovery, and that really pushed us in that direction. If we hadn't got my son taken away, um, we wouldn't have gotten sober probably. We probably would have never gotten sober, honestly. Because we were just on a downward spiral, y'all. We had nothing. We had no jobs. We had no place to live. All we had was my husband's truck, okay? And we would drive around and we were just fucking a hot mess. We would steal, lie, and cheat and manipulate our way into getting everything that we needed so that way we could get dope, get high, and just not fucking feel all day long. So after we got sober, we both had to work really hard to get our son back. And the stipulations were that I had to go to treatment for 30 days and my husband needed to get a job. Okay, so while I was in treatment for 30 days, my husband got a job and was taking care of that side of things. And I was in treatment trying to get help because the way Child Protective Services looks at things is they look at the mother's side, and they had saw that I had been to treatment, I had been to prison, and so they were looking, they said, what is going to make this different? Why should we give you your son back? Why is this time different from all the other times that you've been into treatment? Which is a understandable question to ask, because even I had to ask myself, what is different this time? Why do I want to get sober? Why do I want to get my son back if I'm not going to stay clean? You know, I had to like really sit down and look at myself in the mirror and realize, like, am I doing this because I just want to get my son back, or am I doing this because I want to change my life? You know, at first, the only reason why I was getting sober was because of my son and because he was taken away from me. But in the process of having my son in foster care and working hard to get my life together, finally, you guys, I got to a point where I was like, you know what? This is a better life for me. I'm happy. I love myself. I feel good. And I hadn't felt good in over 12 or 13 years. I hadn't felt proud of myself in over 12 years. And so when I got sober and I started working a job and I started being able to save my money and I started getting sobriety time underneath my belt and I started making relationships, like real friendships, and everything started changing for me, because it was like, these are things that make me feel good. These are things that help me build my self-confidence. And I have to like super duper stress to you guys that, like, while I was sober and doing the damn thing over here, my husband was acting like a damn fool. Okay. My husband had, I think it was about a year and a half, 2 years into our sobriety, he started relapsing and doing all kinds of crazy shit. And he would come home at night and he would be high as hell, and he would tell me he wasn't high. And I knew he was high because I know my husband, you know? And I'm telling you guys, like, it took everything in me to not kill him, physically murder him in this house and to not get high also. Having him around, being like that, even though it was just for a short time, it was like he would stay in the house one night and then I would make him leave. I would literally kick him out, you guys. I would not let him stay here because I could not take it. Hey Kristen, I have missed you, girl. I hadn't seen you in the chats lately, but I'm glad you're here. Hey Freya, I see you, girl. I could not let him stay here. I could not even look at his face when he was getting high because it made me so mad. It made me so mad. And that in itself triggered me because I had this rage inside of me and I resented him. I resented him for getting high and I wasn't able to get high. I didn't get to get any relief. I didn't get to sneak off and get loaded. I fucking was so pissed. I'm telling you guys, my resentment level was like out the roof, because I was like, that's not fair, and then when I thought about it, I had to go back and look at my behavior and how mad and angry I was. I was like, holy shit. I'm not mad because I'm afraid he's going to hurt himself or I'm afraid that my son's going to see it. I'm mad because he's getting high without me. Do you know what it's like to realize how much of a junkie you are? That you're mad? You're more mad about him. I was more mad about him getting high behind my back without me than I was about him getting high and spending $600 out of the bank account. I had to take a look at my own behavior and my own self and realize like I had a lot of work to do. I had a lot of work to do because that addict thinking, it was still inside of me, and it came out the minute something happened and it was negative and I didn't know how to handle it. I automatically reverted back to my old behavior of yelling, screaming, telling him I wanted to get high with him, begging him to take me with him. Now, let me tell you guys, it's 2000. We're in 2020. This was back in 2017. So this is a while ago. Okay. This is when I first started my channel. Okay. So please don't think that hasn't happened. That's not happening now. But I want y'all, looking back on it, that was a huge trigger for me. And that was my family, my significant other, After that, I had so much resentment built up in my heart. Brenda, I saw your comment. I'm going to answer you just a second, okay? I had so much resentment. I was so angry at my husband. I was so hurt. I felt like he was getting high because he didn't love us. I felt like he was getting high because he didn't care about me and his son. But in all actuality, that's not what it has anything to do with that. It has nothing to do with that, you guys. It has to do with addiction is a disease. And my husband was not being treated. He wasn't actively seeking treatment for his disease. My husband is one of the people that I tell you guys about on my channel who got on Suboxone, started working a full-time job, 40 plus hours a week, and didn't do anything else. He just started working and got on maintenance medication. And about 2 years into that, he made it 2 years, white knuckling it. 2 years into this, he relapsed, you guys. And it's like, hold on a second. 2 years into it, he relapsed, and it was a horror story. And then it just kept happening because he wasn't doing anything for his sobriety, and my husband is such an amazing person. I wish he wasn't so shy because I know he would come on here and he would share this with you guys. But it was really, really hard. And listen, I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect wife. I'm not a perfect daughter. I'm not a perfect sister. I am a hard person to live with. I'm very, very controlling. It's either my way or the highway. And I know this about myself, and I'm trying to become better about that. That's one of the things that's one of my assets, and it's also one of my character defects is that I am a control freak. Okay. And so that's one of the reasons why I am good about doing my channel and doing this with you guys, because I am, you know what I mean? But with my husband, it doesn't work in our favor because it drives him insane. And I don't give him room to be himself. And I try to control him and I try to shape him into what I think he needs to be. And this is what I'm sharing this with you guys because I need y'all to understand something. I had to take a look at myself and realize that I was hurting my husband. I wasn't being a good wife by controlling him and trying to make decisions for him. I was causing him pain and grief. He didn't want to be around me. He didn't trust me. He couldn't tell me things. And that, I'm not saying I caused him to relapse, but I feel like if I had been more open-minded and talked to him more and be more understanding, then he could have came to me and I wouldn't have gotten mad and we could have talked about it and we could have worked through it together before he went out and got high. But instead, I had already created this division and this like, okay, I'm sober, I'm doing this the right way, and you're not doing it right. And so it's really hard. I'm trying to explain it the best way I know how. It's just hard. Oh yeah, so jealous, Joe. Same. What does she do, Sky? Is she just like being negative? Here's another thing, like if you have somebody in your family who's just constantly picking you apart, somebody who's constantly talking to you negatively, you guys, you don't need that person in your life, okay? If you can get away from that person and not have to live with them, then separate yourself from that toxic human being. A lot of the times, okay, my mother-in-law used to drive me insane, straight up, okay? And I'm sure I drove her insane too. But when me and my husband got sober, she would not let us be. It was like, you guys think I'm controlling? She would literally show up at my house whenever I was not here, probably going through all my stuff. Who knows, God, what else? And it used to drive me insane. And I had to separate myself from her. I broke down. I was crying. I was telling her, like, we are sober now. But that's the thing. I also want you guys to understand that when we get sober, people aren't going to all of a sudden say, oh, Sky and Rosie and Lisa are sober now. They're just amazing young women. We're so proud of them. We have to remember that our family members have been hurt by us for many, many years. And after we hurt our family members from all those years, sometimes it's hard for them to get past that and let that go. So do I mean that you have to sit there and endure them talking down on you and being negative to you? Absolutely not. You don't have to endure that. You don't have to stick around for that. But that's when we all have to learn how to set boundaries with our family members, you guys. So if you have a family member who is constantly triggering you, then you have to set the boundary. Mom, I love you, but if my sister's there, I don't want to come over. If sis is at mom's house and mom wants to see me, then mom, you can come over here and see. I don't want to be around my sister. She drives me insane. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, is it worth it? Let me tell you something about my husband and his family. My husband and his family, they will not want to be around each other, but just because they want to like save face, they will all get together and be around each other. And it is the worst. It's not fun. Nobody is enjoying being with each other. Everybody is just like walking on eggshells, looking at each other like we can't stand each other, right? My stepdad is the most controlling person ever. It's hard sometimes. I just have to block it out. Kristen, exactly. My sister gets annoyed if you breathe too loud, if you talk with your hands, or if you're chewing on something. Well, she wouldn't like me very much. Miss B, I got to ask everybody if it's okay that's in the meeting. I'll tell you, man, like, why get together if you're not going to want to be around each other? You know what I'm saying? So, with my family, if we are mad at each other or we are having some kind of something going on between family members, forget that. We ain't seeing each other and we ain't talking to each other. We're not texting each other. And one of us is going to cave. That's how it happens with me, my sisters, my mom, and my dad. Okay. If my dad or my mom gets upset and they sit down and they're like, this is what's going on, blah, blah, blah. We'll all stop talking to each other for like 3 days. And then somebody's going to crack and call and say, I'm sorry, Mom, I love you. You know what I mean? And, but here's the thing, like, I totally understand about having people in your life that just they are not people that you want to be around, right? But I also want us to understand about how much damage that we did to our family members and how worried they were with us and how hurt we made them and how my mom lost sleep for years because she didn't know if I was going to die or live. So sometimes I try to give her a little bit of a break because I know that I put her through so much. And my sisters, I wasn't able to be a big sister to them. And so I understand that they missed out on having me there as a big sister, you know? My family is tight, you guys. We are so tight that I missed out. I missed out on so much because I was spun out, because I was fucked up. And it makes me hurt inside because I know that I hurt my family. And I know that I missed out on so much. I missed out on my nephew's life. I was there for the first couple of years, but after that, I was out of my mind. And so now I feel like I'm going to be forever making it up to them. I don't feel like a pressure or indebted, but I feel like the right thing to do is to make them happy and proud, and so that's why I work so hard at being a good person and doing the right thing, because one, it makes me happy to help others and do the right thing. And two, I finally want to make my family proud. I want them to know that I'm not going to go back to that life ever again. And I hate that I think a lot of people think that us addicts and alcoholics, that we just like don't care that we hurt our families and that we just kind of like are just in our addictions and just loving the high and just not caring. But I want people to understand that we are hurting, and we are hurting just as bad, if not worse, than the people that we are hurting with our addictions. And that the fact that we are able to shoot drugs into our veins, drink gallons of alcohol, smoke crack, whatever your vice was, you obviously have to be hurting to be doing that to yourself. I remember when people used to say that, oh, I love getting high. I enjoy it. Hey, Alex, what's up? Welcome to the channel, man. I love getting high. I enjoy it. It's like something that it's a luxury for me. Sure, I loved getting high for a while, but it lost the fun. There was no fun to fiending out and searching for dope. There's no fun to not having money and having to do shit that you would never do, for drugs and alcohol. Bye, Brenda. Love you, girl. Thanks for being in here. I'm not proud of any of the things that I did for drugs and alcohol, you guys. Not for alcohol, but more for drugs, right? Oh my gosh, Kristen, I can't imagine. Yes. So you know what? This is how I am, Kristen. I just read your comment. Let me read it to everybody else. Hold on. Kristen says, my family is so good at the silent treatment and not talking about the elephant in the room. I just wish it was easier sometimes. since I was usually the elephant. I totally understand. And see, I'm one of those people that, like, when I know that something that people are upset with me and that everybody has a problem with me, I am like this. Like, feel I can feel them burning holes in my head with their eyes. And so I'm the person that's like, let's just get this over with. Let's talk about it. You got a problem with me? You know what I mean? Like, cannot I just cannot let that continue to happen. And again, it's because I have to be in control. Like, I know this. Like, I hate feeling like other people are like upset with me, or I just want to get it over with and get it all out in the open, you know? And so, like, there was no hiding the fact that me and my husband were struggling in active addiction. Everybody knew it, you know? Um, so
When's Dad coming home?
he'll be home at 10.
When's 10?
About 3 hours.
Would it be at daytime still?
No, it's going to be nighttime.
Kind of daytime sunset?
No, it's going to be real dark.
Ouch!
You got to take a shower in just a few minutes. I'm serious. Today is shower day.
No, it's balls.
No, Nate.
I was gonna say it's.
I must say, my sister has done more damage to our family with her poor life. Oh, Sky, I know some people that have that, and I've heard that's a struggle. I was actually watching some videos here on YouTube about that a couple months ago. And, you know, I shy away from the topic of mental health, you guys, because, you know, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. Hey, Sarah, what's up, girl? Thanks for being here. I appreciate you for being here. Yes, it does, Merck. And Merck knows all about that. Negativity will suck the life out of you. So when you have somebody that's just like, it's like a leech, okay? When somebody is constantly toxic around you, bringing down your vibe, just killing your vibe, right? You're trying to stay sober. You're trying to do the right thing. You're trying to just change your life. And this person's constantly reminding you about how you hurt me last year, or you got high on Christmas Day, or, you know, that one time mom bailed you out of jail. If you have somebody in your life that's constantly throwing things in your face like that, you guys, you don't have to put up with that. Okay, I understand that we hurt people and we want to make amends and we want to do the right thing to help our families, to let them know that we care and that we are not going to make the same mistakes. But the best thing to do to let your family know that you're not going to make those same mistakes is to live your truth and to keep staying sober. See, one thing that we all do is we get sober and we'll stay sober for a little bit and then we'll relapse, okay? So our family members have gotten used to hearing us come back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So living and staying sober and showing through our actions is the best thing you can do, okay, to really prove to your family members what? That you're going to do the right thing and that you're going to stay on the right track, you know? I know, Rosie. I've had people in my life, you guys, that were like that.
Yeah,
hold on, let me see if they're right. Honestly, we just don't have time for that anymore. Like, we've all worked too hard to get to where we're going. Baby, these are green still. You don't want one of these green things.
Yeah, not right.
Well, maybe this one will be okay.
Yeah, not right.
Bananas.
Here. So there's only one good banana.
No, see how doesn't it look kind of green?
Let me see how squishy it is.
You want me to open it?
Let's see it first.
Okay.
Does seeing a banana help?
Oh, it might be ready. This looks like it wasn't ready.
It probably is.
There you go. Yep. Here. I just squeezed it. There. It's perfect. Oh, it's good.
No.
That's a good banana.
You ate it. I will squish it.
He's a good kid. He'll eat it. He eats everything. I worry about my niece. She's my sister's 21-year-old daughter, and she's such a good kid. I know what you mean, Rosie. I know what you mean. Okay, so Rosie, can I share a little bit about your nephew? I hope that's okay. What do you do? Let me ask you guys this question. What do you do if you have a family member who is using drugs and alcohol and they are constantly calling you because they want a place to stay? They are constantly calling you because they need money and food. What are you going to do? What are you going to do if you have a family member who's getting high as hell and the only time they call you is when they need something? Hey, Andrew, cry? No, that's not what you do. That's not what you do. First of all, um, so I know what it's like because I was the addict and I had family members that I did that to, where I only called them when I needed money. I only called them when I needed to eat. I only called them when I needed a place to sleep, right? And so a lot of people reach out to me because they have family members, right, that are struggling with addiction. Okay. Tell them that you love them, but you can't enable them anymore. That's good, Joe. Yes, absolutely. Exactly. Okay. But here's the thing. I have people that reach out to me and they say, my family member's struggling. Okay. They really need help. Meditation is a good thing too to help you be able to deal with them. You guys know as much as I know that if a person doesn't want to get sober, they don't want to get help. They're not going to take that initiative to get into treatment, okay? Or to try to get sober. So a lot of times what'll happen is people reach out and they'll say, my son or my daughter, they're struggling, they need to get sober, and what can we do to help them? And my advice is always like, I would love to talk to them. How can I get in contact with them? Why don't I want to hear from that person? Like, here's the thing. My mom called my mother called the treatment center one time for me. The first time I ever went to treatment, my mom called and got me into treatment. She called and made sure there was a bed. I had to call and do all the work. That's where I'm coming from. These Your friends and your family members who are still getting high and drunk, you guys, you cannot get them into treatment. You cannot do the assessment for them. You cannot talk to a counselor, a therapist, or a sponsor, or anybody for them. They have to do it. You can connect them to a person like, hey, here's their number, right? But who's going to call? You can't call them and then put me on the phone and say, here, this is the girl that's going to help you find treatment. They're going to say hello and act like they want to talk to me in front of you, and then they're going to hang up and never call me again. I've had it happen a million times, and I'll never hear from that person again. And that's not my job to call them a million times to remind them that they need to be getting into treatment, or that they need to seek help, or that they need support, or that they need to get on maintenance medication, right? That I went out and I found treatment. Okay. I called every rehab in Little Rock until somebody would take me. If you guys want to hear a story, listen to this. Okay. This was before I went to prison, I think. Was it before? Yeah. It was before I went to prison. I had gotten into a lot of trouble. My mom and dad were like, they had already washed their hands of me, but they were really like, you need to get the hell up out of here. We don't want to fuck with you. And so I took like 14 Xanax bars, no lie. And I drove up here to Little Rock because remember, I lived in Hot Springs. And I went up to RCA, which is a treatment center here, high on bars of Xanax, and sat outside on the concrete like I was laying out getting a tan, waiting for them to let me go to treatment there, waiting for them to let me in the door. That's how bad I was ready to go to rehab. I needed help. They had grants. It was summertime. They had money from the state funding people that needed treatment. So I drove my happy ass out there and stayed on the concrete outside the treatment center until they let me in. You guys have got to it's like, and here's the thing. It's okay to want to help your loved ones. Okay. I understand that. It's okay to encourage them. It's okay to drop them phone numbers or tag them in things and say, hey, maybe you could reach out to this person. But until that person does that work on their own, that's all you can do. That's all you can do. Okay. You cannot, they literally have to make that decision for themselves, Hey, Dr. Miles. It was so hilarious, you guys, because I was just laid outside on the concrete outside of this treatment center, and I was just like, and if I could, man, I wish there was pictures from back then, because by the time I got done with treatment, I had gained about 20 pounds, and I looked so much better, and I was so clear-headed. And do you know that it took over 45 days for all those benzos to get out of my system? Because I just was eating them like they were candy, you guys, candy. It was a bad time back then. But the things I'm trying to stress to you guys is your family members have to decide, and they have to decide for themselves that they want to get help, you know? And so we can encourage them, and we can try to share information with them and send them phone numbers to people that can help them find rehab, and or send them suggestions about getting on a mat treatment. But until that person chooses that and makes that decision, there's nothing you can do unless you have a child that's under the age of 18 and that you can have them committed or put into treatment because you're the adult. But after they turn 18, it's really up to that person and whether they choose to change their life or not. I mean, think about it. You know how many years my mom and dad watched me kill myself? And if there was a way that they could have, forced me to get help, I'm sure they would have tried it. But would it have done anything? Would it have made a difference? I mean, I don't really know if it would have, because when you force somebody into doing something and it's not a decision that they've chose on their own, I have just seen it time and time again where a lot of people, they just don't work out. They don't get sober. Nate, stop. Where's the other banana peel? Bring it down here so you can throw it away. Go get it.
And then I'll get.
Then you can have another banana. What was my DOC? Are you talking to me? My drug of choice was methamphetamine, oxy, Xanax, cocaine. My drug of choice was everything. But if I had to choose, it was meth and oxy. Both sides, though. Like I would go through stages where I would just be like shooting meth all the time. But the last 6 years of my addiction, I was on oxys, shooting oxys and meth combined together. Staying up for days, not having any sleep. It was horrible. It was not fun. I used to try and trick myself and say, oh, I had so much fun, but it was not fun at all. It was horrible. It was not a good time.
Is it right?
It's right. Here you go.
So, yay, it's good, right?
Okay. There you go, Sky. I was like, I know he knows what I did. Misty says, I'm so lucky. Last time I overdosed, I came home from the hospital. There was a commercial on TV. And that's so cool, Misty. See, I don't know if there's any commercials here for maintenance on our. How long did the high last when I shot meth? Oh, nice person. I would be up for 4 days at least without any sleep. At least 4 days. It was crazy. It was not fun. Back then, when I was in my addiction, I enjoyed staying up like that, but it always ended up turning very, very badly. I always ended up losing my mind and going psychotic. You know what I mean? And after so many years of shooting up meth, it ended up turning against me. And I started losing my mental faculties, you guys. In fact, I don't know if I told you guys this the other day. I think I did. But one of my friends that I used to use with called me just the other day, you guys, and they were like, hey, Nicole, hey, Dr. Miles, we're doing, well, I'm not Mara, but, Mara is doing, and we're just members of Mara. Merck is the leader of the Mara group on Saturday nights, and we've been doing Zoom meetings, and they're awesome. And people have been coming ever since the coronavirus hit, you guys. It's been on and popping. Like, we have been doing meetings and meetings and meetings on Zooms. It's been awesome, hasn't it, you guys? That's a long time. Yes. Oh, nice person. I've stayed up longer than that, baby. I have stayed up longer than that. And whenever I would stay up that long, I'm telling you guys, like, the hallucinations and the things that I would see that I thought were happening, they were so real to me at that time. And still to this day, I question myself. And then I talked to my friend the other day, and he was like, "You called me and you told me to come get you." And he totally repeated everything all the things that I've been thinking that I saw for so many years. And I was like, I knew it. I knew I saw that shit. I knew it. So I still remember, though, like, the feeling. And sometimes, like, I'm not even going to lie, you guys. Sometimes sometimes my mind takes me back to that time, and I think maybe I could just do one more. Maybe I could just get high one more day, you know? Coronavirus. Coronavirus. Ever since the coronavirus hit, we've been amping it up on the online meetings. It has been so amazing, and um, it really pulled our whole, like, Mara family together, because we all started having to be a part of, and, like, people that don't usually frequent my channel but that are a part of Mara have came over here, and I started going over there, and we've been working together to share the Zoom meetings here on my channel and get it out to more people and on the Facebook groups. It's really been a good thing. It's so awesome to see, like, a group of people, you guys, that are non-judgmental. It's so important to me to be a part of a group like this, where we all, like, support each other, and we don't judge each other, and we love each other. Like, I feel like there is enough negativity and judgment in the world that we don't need it from each other, you know? And so for so many years, I have been, Joe, you are going to love it. There's probably one going on tomorrow, or even tonight. I don't know. I'll send you the link. I'll text it to you after we get off here. But 7 days arrested, talking to the CIA in a hotel bathroom. Aaron, I can't listen to me, you guys. I have stayed up for over a week, and let me tell you this: I was so messed up that I could not even, like. I remember trying to drive and, like, looking in my rear view the whole time and not looking forward. That's hard. That's so scary, you guys. So freaking scary. Um, but we ain't got to live like that anymore. And that's the beautiful thing about sobriety. But let me tell y'all this, because I was wanting to tell you. Sometimes I think in my mind, maybe I could just do meth one more time. You know, maybe it would be okay. You know, yep, we worked out today. Um, Maybe I could just get high one more time and then nobody would know, right? Hey, MVP. But I'm telling you, like, the thought comes to my mind. It comes to my mind quite frequently, if I must be honest. Um, but one thing that I do every time that thought comes to my mind is I play that tape past how I would feel, right? I play the tape past the euphoria, past the good time that I might have at the beginning. Play it past that, and I play it to my son finding me like that, or my husband being disappointed in me, or I play it to this point where I have to come on my channel and say, "Hey guys, I fucked up," and I don't know if it's pride or what, but I just don't want to have to come on here and tell y'all I fucked up. And if that helps me stay on the right track, well, then damn it, I'm staying on the right track. You know, I don't want to have to come on here and tell y'all that I done fucked up, you know. And I also, one other thing, I know that there are people who are literally waiting in the shadows on my demise, waiting for my fall, right? And so those people, I just want them to stay waiting forever. So I don't want to give them the pleasure of going out and getting high and ruining, you know, my sobriety. And so I guess that could be like a pride thing, but I know y'all would be here. And that's the thing, like we have such a supportive community. I know everyone would still be here, but I'm not going to use that as an excuse to go out and get high, because I know y'all would still support me, and that's the thing. My addiction would tell me they'll still support you, Nicole. Everybody will love you still. And you know what? They'll support you even more now. That's just my mind justifying and rationalizing why it would be a good idea to go get high. You know what I mean? I keep reminding myself of losing my son and how bad that was, and what if I got high and and my son is 5 years old and CPS came knocking on my door. Hey, Nicole, we heard you're getting high. I would never, ever be able to forgive myself. That's one of the main reasons that I stay on the right path, because I care so much about my son. And of course, I enjoy surprise. So, you guys, I enjoy being sober today. I enjoy being able to come on here and hang out with you guys and have meaningful conversations. I enjoy having money in the bank where I can go out to take a trip. Alex says, I've been off Suboxone for a little over a year, but lately I've been thinking about getting back on it. Well, you know what, Alex? Whatever you got to do to stay sober. If you're struggling and you're thinking about getting back on Suboxone because you're struggling with your sobriety, then you got to do what you got to do. Okay? Just look at it like that. Look at it as, if getting on Suboxone is something that's going to help you stay sober and you're not going to pick back up, then sometimes you got to do that. Okay? Don't ever those are that's a different situation. That's not like going out and getting high or getting, that is like something that you're doing for your life, to save your life. And if you're struggling with if you're not in a good headspace and you need to get back on, then get back on. It'll be better than fucking making a decision and going out and getting high. And you guys know, like, I'm on Suboxone. I'm on 1 milligram of Suboxone as we speak, and it saved my life, you guys. I will never, ever say anything bad about maintenance medication, because it has given me 5 years of my life back. It has allowed me to become the person I am. Hey, Josh, what's up, babe? So I am a huge advocate for maintenance medication, and if you need to be on it, then get back on it. The questions I would ask myself are, am I getting on it? If you're wanting to get high and you're thinking about relapsing, go get on it. Just ask yourself that. Do I want to get high? Am I risking my life? And it's no questions asked. If you're struggling with your sobriety and you don't think that you can do it on your own, sometimes it's hard, though, you guys, to admit that we're struggling and that we need the extra help because of our pride and our ego, right? Because we think, well, I should be able to handle this on my own, right? If I could just handle this on my own, then everything would be okay, and that's just not how it is. Sometimes we need extra help. And I talked about this in the video that I uploaded earlier today. That whole idea that you're not serious about your sobriety because you're on a maintenance medication is complete bullshit. We have to start looking at the disease of addiction as a disease, and we have to treat it as a disease. Okay? It's not a moral failing. It's not because you don't want it bad enough. It's not because you're not willing enough. It's because it's a motherfucking disease. And you need help, Do not get stuck in that mindset that so many people do, that, oh, it's because I'm just not doing enough for my recovery. I must not be serious enough about my sobriety. That's why I'm struggling. Some people just fucking struggle. Some people get depressed. Some people have mental illness. Some people go through hard times and they need the help. Do not risk your life going back on drugs and relapsing. if you can get on medication and stay sober. What's up, more smoke? For me, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer, you guys. Like I was telling y'all before, if I was on maintenance medication and I was struggling, no, if I had tapered off maintenance medication and I was struggling and I felt like I was going to go out and use, or I was thinking about it a lot, there would be no questions. I would get back on maintenance. I hope everybody in here is starting their Monday off on the right track. Let's go ahead and read something. Let's go ahead and read something so we can have. Hey, Tim, we love you too, babe. Y'all go subscribe to my friend Tim, Texas Prison Stories. Just for today. That meme you sent me today, Tim, was hilarious. Did you guys see? Oh, listen, I've been sharing a lot of prison stuff on my community tab, you guys, because I follow a lot of the guys over there. And Tim has a friend. His name is Mr. Larry, and he's like a triple OG, like for real. And he was spent how many years? 47 years in the Texas State Penitentiary. A long time, y'all. And he started a channel. So I shared his channel over to the community tab because I have a fascination with hearing people's stories. You know what I'm saying? I love hearing people who have gotten in a lot of trouble and then turned their life around and gotten out and gotten sober and all that good stuff, or turn their life around and quit committing crimes. And so I have been finding so many dope ass channels that are small channels that have really good content. And so I was even thinking about making a couple of videos of channels like prison channels I watch, recovery channels I watch. I quit it cold turkey and it sucked for about a month. But if my sobriety is in jeopardy, I'm not rolling those dice. Exactly, Alex. I'm glad that you're here too, man. For real, because this is the right place for you to be. We're never going to judge you for getting back on Suboxone. In fact, everybody here, damn near all of us are on some kind of maintenance medication. And if the people that are in here are not on maintenance medication, they will not say shit to you negative. They will support you because they're part of Real Talk Recovery. And we don't believe in judging people for their recovery pathway. We are a group of people who support multiple pathways to recovery. And we also realize that we ain't doctors. So, honey, if you got to do it, do it. And you're always welcome here. It has been, listen to me, you guys. It was a long day, but I want to tell y'all about what I did today because I feel so good. Me and Lisa worked out today, and my Nick, my trainer, I call him my trainer. My trainer, Nick, sent me a hard workout. I thought it was hard. Well, Alex, I'm so glad you're here. Like, for real. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, what I did today. See what I'm saying, y'all? I get distracted easy. So we did our workout today. Do you guys remember when I first started working out, how I couldn't even do one sit-up? I did 30 sit-ups today. I did 3 rounds of 10 sit-ups. All the way up. All the way up. I'm so proud of myself, y'all. Just put an ad out in the paper or something like that, Sky. Okay, let's read just for today. Hold on, guys. What's today? March, April, May, June. June. What's today, y'all? The 16th, right? Okay, I know, right? And listen, you guys, I'm not skinny or anything yet. I still have a long ways to go. But when I first started, if you go on my channel and you go back to the first time I worked out, I couldn't even do one burpee. I couldn't even do a sit-up. I could not do the stuff. I was dying. Now, I still die a little inside, but I'm doing it. I'm stronger. Like, I'm able to do the burpees. I'm able to do the squats. I'm able to do the sit-ups. Like, it's the 15th. Okay, sorry, guys. Thanks. I was really out of shape. And although I'm still out of shape, like my body is like my muscles are coming in and they're like trying to help me out here. Okay, here we go. Let me see. Okay. We have three things: fellowship, faith, and service. Fellowship is wonderful, but its wonder lasts just so long. Then some gossip, disillusionment, and boredom may come in. Worry and fear come back at times, and we find that fellowship is not the whole story. Then we need faith. When we're alone with nobody to pat us on the back, we must turn to our higher power for help. Meditation for the day. There is beauty in a higher power guided life. There is wonder in the feeling of being led, trying to realize your higher power's bounty and goodness more and more. You know what? I really, really, really want us to. We're going to have to write a Mara meditation book, you guys, because here's the thing. You guys know I believe in God. God's my higher power, okay? But I want to do my channel in a different way to where, Nicole, do you watch what? Joe, I do watch his channel. And I do think he's very motivational. I wish that I could get in shape get in shape like he does. Girl, Kristen, the reason why I'm doing it, y'all, is because people said I couldn't do it and people were clowning me. But it's like, I'm trying to change my life and get in shape, and you're going to make fun of me for trying to get in shape. Like, yeah, I'm a drug addict. I got fat. I started eating food again. I started eating food, and then I've always struggled with addiction to food. I've always struggled with overeating, and one of the things that always gets me in my goat, you guys, is when people, like, I put my life out there and share every bit of my life. I talk about sex. I talk about my husband and I when we first got sober and how we struggled because of Suboxone and the sex drive. And I put everything out there. And I try so hard to do that to help people, because I know that whenever I was starting out, I don't remember there being a lot of people that just transparently put things out. Like, I don't know, couldn't find a girl that I could relate to. I could find girls that were like perfect and skinny and pretty and always had their makeup on. I couldn't find anybody that I could relate to like myself. You know what I mean? And so now I'm like really, really want to help people, I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. Prison POV. I love me some Splinter. Yes. Hey, Nap. What's up? Look at me, Airman. If you take out the fact of who it is and you just listen to the message, that's what I want you to try and do from now on. When you're watching somebody on YouTube, you guys, I want you guys when you're listening to somebody on the internet, maybe if you don't like the person, right? Maybe if you don't particularly care for that person, I want you to totally block it out of your mind that it's that person and just listen to the message that they're trying to convey. That's what I have to do sometimes, you guys, because there's a lot of people that I just don't like on YouTube. And I'm like, God, I got to find the good in them. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's hard, though. It really is hard sometimes. But we got a good group of people here, you guys. And honestly, I'm a prison channel whore. I love a lot of the prison channels. And so I'm always down to support them. You know what I mean? But try to hear their message. You know what I mean? Because sometimes they have some of the guys that like I might not particularly like. Sometimes they got a good message, Shoot, some of the girls that I don't like, sometimes I got to give them props and say, damn, that was a good message. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like, we have to learn to give credit where credit's due. That's what I do. That's why we come to your channel, because you're so relatable and have been through it all. So when we put our problems out here, you don't judge us. Oh yeah, never judge you. But that's what I was talking about. It was hard for me to find people that I could relate to. Like, do you know what I'm saying, ladies? Like regular girls, not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a regular girl. Like, I'm not super girly, but I'm not a tomboy. Like, I'm just right in the middle. I am, I'm just a regular person. I'm not famous. I don't have any I just am a regular person. Hey, Kathleen, how you doing, girl? Well, I'm not a counselor, but if you need support, I will definitely help you any way I can. Um, any way I can. If you want to, you can join our Patreon and you can be in there with all of us. It's kind of like a support group. But I don't ever want you guys to think, here's the thing. I am just somebody in recovery who is sharing with you guys, and I don't ever want it to come across that I'm something that I'm not. There's my Kathleen. I just linked the Patreon in the chat. It'll be a little blue link. If you click on that, you can join and you can be in there with us. I want you guys to hear me out though, okay? I am just a regular girl sharing my story, sharing with you guys what works for me, right? And yes, I'm working really hard on learning about the disease of addiction and getting my peer recovery specialist certification, but I'm not a counselor and I'm not a therapist, okay? I'm just a person trying to help other people with my experience. So if you think that could help you and you want me to help you, I would love to help you. I just never want you to think that I'm something that I'm not, okay? Because some people, a lot of people have commented things about me being a counselor or that I would be a good counselor, and I would love to do all those things, but I'm not one. And so I'm never going to give you medical advice. I'm never going to suggest you to take medications or anything like that. Like, all of that is between you and your doctor. I will help you with recovery, and I will help you if you have family members who are in recovery or who have addictions that need support. I can support you any way you need, really. But yeah, I just want to say that, make sure that everybody understands. Now, in our Patreon, you guys, it's a huge group. We're almost to 50 people in there. So if I'm not in there, there's always somebody there. You know what I mean? And so we do the live streams on Sundays with all the patrons. And I'm trying to keep up and get more active, maybe doing them twice a week, but I got to figure something out. I got to figure out what I'm going to do. Green-eyed cat, where you been? How you doing? We hope you're doing okay. I'm glad to see you in here tonight. It's so tempting, you guys, to get into YouTube drama and stuff. And I'm telling y'all, I have had so many temptations lately, and y'all would be so proud of me. I have been doing so good and staying in my own business. I haven't been going over and getting in other people's business, and I haven't been commenting on a bunch of drama. Now, I did comment on my girl Captain Napton's video, but that's because I was waiting for her to drop that video. But other than that, I have been really good. And that's one of my character defects. One of my character defects is that Dr. Miles, I had to sign up through Arkansas, the Arkansas, the way they do it here. And because I didn't know how to, but one of my girls that I work with had sent me the link. And so now I was able to pay for the classes and everything. No, you didn't, Merc. I didn't do it last night. I was slacking. Yes, we got to support Captain. Captain, that's my girl, y'all. That is my girl. She is literally she sticks up for me and really has my back, you guys. And it just helps me. Sometimes, she's just a good person. She's a good friend. That's so awesome. You know what, Airman? My parents were both in the Air Force also. So that's awesome. And thank you for your service and for, risking your life and doing all that stuff in the Air Force. It's amazing. Kristen, Captain Napton. Yes, she is. Her channel is not recovery related. It is more of a drama channel, or she says commentary, you guys, a commentary channel. But it's really good, and she will make you laugh your ass off. So I'm going to get off here and let y'all have the rest of the night to spend with your families. I hope that, you know, some of the advice and suggestions that I gave y'all tonight about staying sober when family members are driving you insane, I hope some of that helps you guys. If any of you guys ever want to talk to me one-on-one, okay, all you have to do is text me on that number, text or call that number on the screen. It comes straight to my phone, okay? I will answer your text, all right? If you have a loved one that's driving you insane or anything like that, just shoot me a text. I love hearing from you guys. It doesn't bother me. I love it. Okay. So do not ever feel like I live for interacting with you guys. My channel was built so I could interact with you guys. It's why I have my channel. So please don't ever feel like you're bothering me. Reach out to me anytime you need anything. Okay. All right. See y'all tomorrow night at 7. Love y'all.